nut job. And I say that, I normally wouldn't say nut job because people wanted me to look like a nut job. She is a hardcore sadistic crazy maker. It is actually one of those stories of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was bizarre. So we won't get into her, but that's how I wound up at 626 South 19th Street, south of Sharon Savings Bank, between South Street and Bainbridge, in the apartment where, as I talk often, I was made to believe I'd be murdered. It was the 4th Monday of January 2011. My entire body went limp. I couldn't hold, I had a little tiny smartphone, Palm phone. It was actually called Palm. And it was the first smartphone I'd had. I'd had clamshells, you know, since the early 2000s. And, you know, I maybe had that Palm phone for like 9 months, maybe a year, maybe at best. And because of everything that began that night, I went back to a clamshell because they do cause paranoia. I was like, why do 50 million people seem to know my business? It got really weird. It's like Enemy of the State. Or The Firm, the movie The Firm, Truman Show. All of that plays into it. The tobacco whistleblower movie, which is called The Insider, which, you know, I didn't know back. I kept saying Russell Crowe movie, but it's called The Insider. And anyway, all of those swirling around. But I do know that it's better for me to live alone unless someone incredibly intelligent and aware of what I experienced in a good way were to come along to offer help. Or I was okay living with my mom and aunt because they had no idea what it is that people, whatever it is, a game or what have you, or people who want to play God, and some people who are sub-level to me, and most people, which would include that woman's house who I lived in for like 6 weeks. She is so sub-Pretanian, you know, that we won't get into it. She has many eons before she reaches the level of me, psychologically, intelligence-wise, and otherwise. We have people who grew up a certain way, and as if. So someone's like, what if they put you through some sort of like program, and they decided you should become a different Sharon? Can you imagine if someone ambushed you? Abducted you? It is like an abduction, ladies and gentlemen. It's very much like that. And they decide you need to be a bit different person. I'm gonna sick my people on her. She's gotta change. She can't. She's incapable. She is too low level. That's a fact. So anyway, I mean, how dare, you know? Should I try? You want to do that? So anyway, it's a hot topic. Technically, I can get really angry because so many theories were floated. Oh, it was some sort of behavioral change. As if, can you imagine a bunch of people acting as if they should be, as if they have the right to, as if they see you a certain way and, oh, we need to mold her into, we need to do this. As if, I don't know what you call that. It's arrogance. I have a cousin like that. His dad drove a Tasty Cake truck. Just total lie. But he kind of acts that way as if he's in a position to seem like the boss or to seem as if he can help others. He's never been helped. He has a problem. It's bad. He works for a behavioral health center. And it's like, oh, you know, it just sends my body into shudders of disgust that this person gets to act as if he would have to come, if people were on like a string or a timeline, he is way back here. And some of the people he's helping are actually here and they're trying to get there. Some people are real and some people are completely fake. Not in a special way. Some people are even trained to believe they're special. We don't want to get, so I will try not to get hot under the collar, but can you imagine people coming along acting as if they believe, it's very condescending. Very condescending. As if I would never do that to someone. People are who they are. If they ask like, well, how do you do this, or how do you, then that's another thing. Like, well, I can tell you what I think works. But to have people be so arrogant to come along and act as if you need to be different, I don't think so. Anyway, we will settle down. Cobweb on Paul Morelli, a gate. Yummy Picks. It's like Healthy Picks. Yummy Picks. It is like Healthy Picks, so way over in Rittenhouse. Yummy Picks. They're coming in. Healthy Picks is over by Swiss. Are they near the Motto? Or are they one block over? They're way over in the 19, 20, or they're not 18. They're like 19th Street and like Ludlow or Randstad. I am fascinated. There are people who pay the man or buy, they consume, they put money into the banks of people who are unexpected based on how they present themselves. So anyway, for example, there was a woman who bought from the Bauer Cafe, and I wouldn't expect that unless, you know, she works somewhere and someone asked her to run out and get it. Just because there are a lot of people, including myself to some degree, who refuse to put money into the coffers of certain businesses based on who owns them, who owns the business, who gains the most. The same families gain over and over because they've always been part of the retail. And, you know, it gets old. So I try to spend my money as wisely as possible within my own restraints. So, hi, sweet. You know, obviously I like to get food from Whole Foods or a natural store. Essene has left the building.